Now, how does Teahupo'o stack up against the other famous surf in the world?
One of a kind. That's probably one of the all-time waves in the world. So Pipeline, the beach that I was raised at, was considered the most premier wave in the world, and it was one of these things where for every shot of any other wave in the world in magazines and whatever on the internet, there was like 3 shots of Pipeline, right? And so Teahupo'o took over that spot and is now probably the most. And now, I mean, we have some incredible waves around the world, but when it comes to just straight up perfection, like a perfect wave, to understand that this wave is the coral that on the island grew in a way to absorb the energy of the wave in the shortest distance possible. That's just how the coral grows. So the shape of the island itself is designed to absorb the wave's energy. That's just what it's designed to do. And the result of that is that the wave will dissipate in such a short distance, so it takes all the power of the wave and it throws it into the air, which makes that perfect cylinder. And then that wave is, I mean, Pipeline's known as, was known as the greatest tube in the world until Teahupo'o took over. And the Millennium Wave it was already on moving towards that direction, but it sent it over the top because that was such a defining wave for the rideable and unrideable. That was the big thing about that particular wave, or that day and those waves, because there was multiple waves ridden on that day. And so that really kind of defined, first of all, that the pictures of that went all over and brought more attention to it than it was already getting, and brought attention to it doing the freakiest thing that it does when it gets past the point where you can actually physically catch it. And that's the heaviest part of that wave, is that you can ride that wave when it's completely unrideable. Like technically, no one would be able to surf the wave that I was towed into.
Why?
Well, because you physically aren't able to generate enough speed on the right equipment that allows you to actually enter before you're thrown into the sky. You just can't. There's so much water lifting up and heaving that you just can't get into it before it throws over. I mean, and guys are pushing the edge of, of how far they can go, but that and multiple other days since then, they don't even try, because you just know it's not. There's other waves that are a little more ambiguous. There's times when could you catch that manually or not? You can do that, but that wave is it's like pretty much a clear line in the sand.
And if you fall, you're hitting reef.
There's a very good chance. Like the month that I rode that wave, the month before, a guy hit his head and eventually died, like crushed his skull. Now there's been another guy that we know, a friend of ours, is paralyzed on a small day. The reef is live coral. If you touch it, it looks like a tiger swiped you. You're shredded. And then there's depends on your tolerance for staph, but there's a pretty good chance you're going to get staph. Like you're just going to, because it's live bacteria and coral's just full of staph. So you're going to get staph. They have a thing where they rub limes on them, on the wounds. And you know how when you get a paper cut, like you get a slice and you put lime on it, or lemon, how good that feels? Imagine like giant road rash, and then we're going to take lime and rub it on there. That usually results in some serious whining.
Jeez.